Hello and welcome, everybody. My name is Samuel Reese, coming to you live on this Friday. And it's the German Cup Semifinals. Thanks for tuning in across YouTube, Periscope, and Twitch. And we have an interesting fixture as Werder Bremen goes head-to-head with RB Leipzig in the German Cup Semifinals, also known as the DFB Pokal. And the winner will punch their ticket into the German Cup final, and they'll face the winner of either Borussia Dortmund or second division side Holstein Kiel. The Cinderella run for Holstein Kiel has been quite incredible, but they'll certainly have a big mountain to climb tomorrow against Dortmund. But first things first, it's Friday night action in the German Cup semis. Bremen taking on Leipzig, and it's Werder Bremen in green going from left to right in this first half. Leipzig in their red kits going from right to left in this opening half of play. Of course, Julian Nagelsmann in charge of Leipzig, set to leave for Bayern Munich at the end of the season. What a job he has done at Leipzig. And maybe here's a chance for Werder Bremen. Square ball from Sargent, but just shielded off the ball in the end was Selassie. The opportunity was there. Of course, Josh Sargent, the American for Werder Bremen. And yeah, it was just ahead of the path of it. It was actually in bump. So yeah, just about 20 minutes have been played. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Happy Friday to everyone watching as well. It's Bremen and Leipzig. As Angelino goes down, a foul is called against Selassie. Free kick to RB Leipzig. No Bundesliga action this weekend. So the only teams in action this weekend are those still alive in the German Cup, which include these two sides in the semifinals. A chance here for Leipzig. Unable to get through was Dani Olmo, the Spaniard. And now here come Bremen on the counter. On the chase is Selassie, but their first is the right back Konate. Gulashi, the Hungarian, back to Konate. And now sent out wide by Sabitzer. Into the middle, it's Konate. Now on the left wing, it's Campbell. Cross delivered, flicked onto the back post, and cleared away inside the 6. Second chance, and on the volley it was blocked. Now Werder Bremen clear, but what a chance that was for Leipzig to pounce and score the opening goal. Now here is Kevin Campbell. Through ball, but surely the flag will be raised. The shot went wide anyway from the Norwegian Sorloth, and it was an offside call. No doubt about it. Looking at the replay, everyone knew it, even the Leipzig players themselves. But Leipzig certainly with the better of looks on goal through the first quarter of this match. A lot of open space so far. Werder Bremen are the home team for this one, although no fans allowed to attend the match due to the coronavirus pandemic. Collision there. Down went the Leipzig defender, and I believe that was Konate. It might have been Upamecano. Let's take another look. It was Konate. Yeah, just collided heads there with Selassie. Or Selke. Selke was backing into him. And obviously, all head injuries are taken very seriously. And it does seem like it's a real possibility that Konate might not be able to continue, although we'll see. He's now up on his knees, getting some water. So Konate heads to the sideline, still clutching his head, but it doesn't look like Nagelsmann is getting anyone warmed up just in case they do need to make a change. Werder Bremen, of course, with a lot to worry about in the Bundesliga. Leipzig, not so much. Leipzig are, obviously pretty much out of the title race. All Bayern need to do is win their next game, win any of their final few games of the season, and they're Bundesliga champions. Yes, absolutely, Karam. Thanks for stopping by, man. I appreciate it. Yep, the Pats did get our their QB for the future. So, yep, I'm excited to see what's in store. I mean, I still think Cam Newton will be the starter this season, but down the road, we'll see what Mac Jones can do. And so, yeah, in the Bundesliga, Leipzig are essentially locked into that second spot. Werder Bremen, meanwhile, just 1 point clear of the relegation playoff position. Of course, 16th place has to play in that relegation playoff. So it's definitely nerve-wracking times for Werder Bremen down the stretch here this season, because anything can happen in that relegation playoff, and you don't want to be in that position. Here's a long ball sent forward. Headed to the near side. Sliding in for Werder Bremen was Augustinsson. And he will win his team a throw-in. Yeah, the ball was pinballed back off of Leipzig. Throw-in awarded to Werder Bremen. Here's Angelino. Now it's Sorluth. Kampel. Leipzig moving the ball around nicely. Konate, by the way, is back into the match, and he's now on the ball. In swinger. Was there a foul there against Werder Bremen in the box? Nothing called, and the ultimate strike went over the bar. But Leipzig pretty much controlling the match inside the first half hour of play. And so Pavlenka will be in no rush to take this goal kick. Friday night in Germany. No fans in attendance, which is a shame. Obviously, Germany have some of the best supporters. It's always electric. But hopefully in the near future, we will see at least a limited amount of fans in attendance at Bundesliga games. It was announced, though, a few days ago that the German Cup final will be played behind closed doors at the National Stadium in Berlin. Thrown for Bremen. Referee just having some quick words with Konate. And here's the throw-in from Selassie. Selassie gets it back. The pass, though, right to Orban. Losing balance was Sorloth. No foul called. And it's Werder Bremen back in possession. This is sent back to Pavlenka. What's going on, David? Welcome into the broadcast, man. I appreciate you tuning in. Oh, nice flick. Sargent's in! but a foul call. The shot went wide anyways. What a chance that was for Josh Sargent. He could not get his feet sorted out. A perfectly timed run from Josh Sargent as he got around Upamecano. I'm not sure how that's a foul on Sargent, in all honesty. What a chance. Bremen have had a few opportunities now and again, and Sargent couldn't believe it. What a great chance it was. 0-0 still the score. David, I speak a very limited amount of Spanish. I don't know all that much Spanish, in all honesty. I know necesito uno means I need one. Josh Sargent with a glorious opportunity. The American has really transformed into a leader of this Werder Bremen team, or at least one of the leaders. Oh, let the goal come. That's what it means. Okay. Yeah, that's right. Venga means come. Well, we'll see if it'll come anytime soon, David. I hope so. Or will we be deadlocked at 0-0 come halftime? So you just want one of the teams to score. Okay. I see. Yeah, I mean, hopefully we get an exciting match, but no goals up until this point. 31 minutes played in Bremen. On the right wing, it's Mukiel. Mukiel back to Upamecano. Now Orban to Angelino. Upamecano back to the far side. This is clipped in, headed down, and now cleared away by Werder Bremen. A goal hopefully will be coming soon, David. Another switch of play. Nice controlled touch by Sabitzer. Here's Orban. Now Haidara. Leipzig very patient in the build-up. But that is turned over. Werder Bremen a steal. And a foul is called against Upamecano. Upamecano, just like his coach, will be making the move over to Bayern after the season comes to an end in just a few weeks' time now. You need one in this first half, yeah. I know a little bit of Spanish. You need a goal in this first half, yeah. Hopefully we'll get one, David. I see that you are you want a goal pretty badly. We'll see. Sabitzer plays it ahead, but that goes right off the head of Sorloth and out of play. It will be a Werder Bremen throw-in. Well, despite Leipzig having more of the possession, Sargent did have that glorious opportunity a few minutes ago. Did you put money on a goal in the first half, David? It sounds like it. Here's Upamecano for Leipzig. Switch of play is headed down by Werder Bremen. Selke lays it back, and that'll be a yellow card offense Haidar, the first player booked in this match. He just followed through in the challenge. And so a booking for Haidara. As it was Fulkrug who was taken down. 10 minutes to go in the first half. A reminder that Serie A action continues this weekend. Sunday, bright and early here in the U.S. at 6:30 a.m. Eastern Time. It'll be Lazio taking on Genoa. Lazio have been looking sharp lately. Can they grab a Champions League spot? That's headed over the end line by Konate. Corner kick on the way for Bremen. Well, an opportunity from a set piece for the home side. A spot in the German Cup final is on the line. Appreciate everyone who stopped by this afternoon or on this Friday night if you're tuning in from elsewhere in the world, such as Europe. Oh, it falls nicely. The shot fired wide across the face of goal. The opportunity was there for the right back, Veljkovic. Yeah, it fell really nicely for Veljkovic, but he never really got his position right. As the shot went wide, but Werder Bremen certainly creating chances, and you could argue that they're closer to a first goal than Leipzig are, the way they've been creating chances in the opening half of play. Now it's on the left-hand side with Sabitzer. Over to Upamecano. Now wide with Haidara. Cross sent in from the left wing all the way through to the back post. It's headed over the end line by Augustinsson. Augustinsson has been called into duty on multiple occasions inside the 18-yard box. A corner kick on the way for Leipzig. Both teams have had quite a number of corner kicks in this first half. And a promising opportunity is on the way. Angelino takes the corner. Headed down to the byline on the far side. Lofted in. Sargent heads it clear of the box. Now controlled by Haidara, who will find Campo. "38th minute. Here is Angelino. Long ball forward. Another header by Augustinsson, but they can't clear. Now it's Danny Olmo. Not enough weight on that pass as it's taken away by Bremen. Eggstein up the line. Josh Sargent was on the receiving end. It's poked out of play by Konate. Actually, the referee brought it back. A foul was called against Leipzig. A late challenge from Mukiel. Winding down in the opening half of play, we'll see how much first half stoppage time there is. It will be Augustinsson to take this free kick from just inside Werder Bremen's half of the field. Getting a flick on was Selke, but no one there on the far sideline. It is a Leipzig throw. Back out for another throw-in, this time for Werder Bremen. And another American on the other side is warming up. Tyler Adams of Leipzig is getting loose. Perhaps we could see him enter the match for the second half. Jesse Marsch will be the new manager of Leipzig next season once Nagelsmann leaves for Bayern. And a heavy challenge there. Both teams exchanging some harsh words. The referee trying to take control of the situation. And now Mboum has gone down for Werder Bremen. Some off-the-ball theatrics taking place with 5 minutes to go until the half. Well, all of this arose from a little bit of a vicious challenge from Haidara. And then after that, Werder Bremen responded with a rough tackle on Haidara himself. And yeah, there was a little stomp on the foot of Mboum there from Angelino. But it looks like no cautions will be shown, I should say. As Angelino and Mboum shake hands. Everyone's happy. The whole situation under control. Here's Upamecano. Orban back to Upamecano. 42nd minute of play. Nice touch from Dani Olmo. The pass turned over, however. Sargent gets it from Selke. An aerial duel. And a foul called against Haidara, who's already on a yellow. He'll have to be careful for the remainder of the match, as he came from behind on Eggestein. Or it was actually Gross there, the center back for Bremen. A lot of stop-start action in the last 10 minutes or so. Moisander takes the free kick. Here's Moisander. Back to the keeper, Pavlenka. Will we have a deadlock at the half? Or will there be a late goal in the first half of play? Forward by Pavlenka. Headed down by Selke. And now a chance here. Towards goal is Füllkrug. Füllkrug losing balance, helping out his Kampel. He'll clear it out of the box for Leipzig. And a penalty has been awarded. Werder Bremen will have a penalty kick off the ball foul committed by Mukiel. And how about that? Completely out of the blue. As Leipzig had possession momentarily, Kampel went to clear, and then off the ball, there was the foul committed by Mukiel, clearly in the box. The referee was right there as he took down Selassie, interfering with Selassie, who is running towards the ball. And what a chance for the host to take the lead. A penalty kick on the way, and it will be Füllkrug who steps up for Werder Bremen. Can he deliver for the hosts? Gulacsi saved a penalty in the quarterfinal of the German Cup for Leipzig. Can he do it again here in the semifinal round? And now VAR is going to intervene before the penalty kick is taken. The referee jogging over to the monitor to have a look for himself. And on the two replays we saw, it did seem like a pretty harsh call against Mukiel. I'm not sure how much contact there truly was. I'm just not sure how much contact there really was. There was certainly some, but then the question becomes who initiated the contact? Because to be fair to Mukiel, Selassie kind of got in his way. And yeah, the right knee was extended from Selassie. He essentially went into Mukiel. So I certainly wouldn't be surprised if the decision was overturned, and it will not be a penalty kick for Werder Bremen. But then again, there has to be enough evidence to overturn the original ruling of a PK. And is there? I think there might be. The referee is having a long, hard look at it before he makes up his mind, looking at it from all angles. This is a huge moment of the game, but it does appear as though it probably will be taken back, although the amount of time the referee is looking at it definitely suggests that he's probably split on what to do. And if that's the case, he'll probably stick with his original decision. The mind of the official finally made up. And there you go. He waves it off. No penalty kick for Werder Bremen. The hosts thought they had an opportunity to take the lead. However, looking at multiple replays, it looked like it was Selassie who initiated the contact. And so no penalty given. VAR does its job. And so it will remain a 0-0 game, and Bremen won't have an opportunity from the spot. We're already nearly 2 minutes into first half stoppage time. There's still been no word as to how much total stoppage time we will have in this first half. The incident occurred around the 43-minute mark, I believe. So we'll probably have at least a couple more minutes tacked on. And so to resume play, we'll have a drop ball. The referee telling how play will proceed. It's dropped to Bremen, and here we go. And now he stopped play again. I'm not sure what he's trying to do, because play should resume based on who had the ball. There we go. He drops it once more, and there is the added time. 4 minutes tacked on to the end of this first half. Was that touched by Angelino? No, it was not. Goal kick awarded. Nope, offsides. The flag was raised anyways. Well, some drama to end the first half, that's for certain. A penalty kick originally awarded to Bremen, then it was overturned. Werder Bremen 3 weeks ago against Leipzig in Bundesliga play scored from a penalty kick, I should say. Thought they would have the same opportunity tonight, but not the case. So what a through ball. Sargent on the end of it, but Gulacsi was alert. He came well out of his box to clear. Great alertness from the Leipzig keeper. Sargent fouled by Campo. Is there one last chance before the break? About 30 seconds to go in the opening half of play. And it will be Augustinsson to take it. Augustinsson over the top. And that's cleanly controlled by Gulacsi, and surely that is it for the opening half of proceedings. Although the referee lets play continue for now. On the ball is Upamecano. Now to Konate. Konate out wide. Angelino with the in-swinger. The header off the target from Haidar. He had to leap up to get there. Could not steer it on frame. We're now into the 5th minute of stoppage time. Halftime whistle coming any moment at this stage. A little frustration on the side of Werder Bremen, who thought they had a penalty kick, only for that decision to be overturned. And the referee signals for halftime. A scoreless game at the break in this German Cup semifinal encounter between Werder Bremen and RB Leipzig. 0-0. I'll be back with the halftime report in a moment. Don't go anywhere. A spot in the German Cup final is up for grabs, and no score after 45 minutes in a tightly contested affair between these two sides at opposite ends of the Bundesliga table, but playing a compelling match in the German Cup semifinals. One-offs can be very unpredictable. Still a whole nother half to play. I'll be back with the halftime report next. Welcome into the halftime report, everybody. The first half was a goalless first half between Werder Bremen and RB Leipzig. However, the American Josh Sargent had the opportunity of the match a half hour in, a perfectly timed run, just couldn't open up his body enough and played it wide of the post. that was the chance for Werder Bremen to capitalize on. However, towards the end of the first half, there would be some controversy, you could say. A penalty kick was awarded to Werder Bremen originally. However, VAR would come in. The referee would take a look for himself. He took a long, hard look at it from multiple angles, many replays, and eventually decided that it was not a penalty kick, and it would be a free kick going out. Or rather, no foul at all, I believe. And so look at some first half stats. The shots 9-4 Leipzig, shots on goal 1-1, 4 corners for Leipzig, 1 for Werder Bremen. Leipzig with 3 offsides, Bremen with none. The fouls 7-6 Leipzig, 1 yellow card for Leipzig, none for Werder Bremen. And as I touched on, Leipzig dominating possession-wise, 64 to 36%. I'm back to look ahead of the second half in a moment. It's the German Cup Semifinals, 0-0 between Bremen and Leipzig. Welcome back into the halftime report. A 0-0 game in this DFB Pokal semi-final between Werder Bremen and RB Leipzig. Friday night German Cup action in the semi-final round. Now, of course, tomorrow the other semi-final will take place when Borussia Dortmund take on Holstein Kiel of the second division. And Dortmund in the previous round defeated Mönchengladbach, Erling Haaland with an incredible goal. And Dortmund, that's how they got through. Meanwhile, for Holstein Kiel, they defeated Rot-Weiss Essen 3-0 in the quarterfinals. It was Beidler, Serra, and Mies with the 3 goals for Holstein Kiel. It was a rather comfortable victory against another lower division team. It was 2 Cinderella stories, really, with both Rot-Weiss Essen and Holstein Kiel meeting in the quarterfinal round, but Holstein Kiel in the end won quite comfortably, and that's why they are into the semifinals where they'll face Dortmund. Could Holstein Kiel pull off the upset tomorrow afternoon? It's going to be tough, but we'll see. Anything can happen in these one-off ties. That game tomorrow, 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 11:30 a.m. Pacific. That's the other semifinal. And then about 2 weeks from now, it will be the German Cup final, unfortunately, with no fans in attendance. Well, 45 minutes played, 45 to go between Werder Bremen and RB Leipzig. 0-0 at the break. Can we see goals in the second half? We shall see next. Don't go anywhere. It's a close one after 45. Off to the second half we go in this German Cup semifinal. Of course, we're getting down to the final few match days in the Bundesliga season. 31 games played and just 3 more to go for a majority of teams. It is Bayern who are inevitably going to clinch that title. Leipzig sitting in second, Wolfsburg third, Frankfurt fourth, Dortmund fifth. Wolfsburg, Frankfurt, and Dortmund all vying for those final 2 Champions League spots. Match day 32 will be next week, starting on Friday when Stuttgart takes on Augsburg. It's a full slate of matches on Saturday next week when Dortmund play Leipzig in the big one. Bremen also facing Leverkusen, Wolfsburg against Union Berlin, Hoffenheim against Schalke, and then the last game on Saturday, Bayern against Gladbach. 3 fixtures on Sunday, including Cologne against Freiburg, Frankfurt taking on Mainz, and Hertha Berlin facing Arminia Bielefeld. So that's the match day 32 slate as the Bundesliga gets ready for its final few weeks of the season. Bremen 0, Leipzig 0, the score, as both teams get ready to take the pitch for what should be an intriguing second half with a spot in the German Cup final on the line. Thanks for being a part of the broadcast, everybody. No Bundesliga games this weekend, just the German Cup semifinals taking place. And it looks like Nkunku has come into the match for RB Leipzig, so certainly a substitute that can make an impact as Nagelsmann has made a change at the break. It doesn't appear as though Werder Bremen made any halftime changes, although I won't be able to confirm that until I know for certain. Well, Werder Bremen thought they had perhaps an opening goal as a penalty kick was awarded late in the first half, but that would be overturned after VAR checked it. Had the referee take a look for himself, and he decided that it was not a PK. And I think it was the right decision ultimately. And Nkunku in for Leipzig. And what fireworks will we have here in the second half of action? And Nkunku will replace Haidara. Haidara, who is on a yellow. A sensible change from Julian Nagelsmann. No risk will be taken by the Leipzig manager with Haidara on a yellow. And that's the lone halftime change made by either side. And so off we go for the second half. Underway in the second frame. Leipzig in all red, going from right to left in the second half of play. Meanwhile, Werder Bremen in their home green kits going from left to right in the second half. Leipzig did make it to the German Cup final last year, only to fall short. They want to take it a step further this year. First, they've got to take care of business tonight. And offsides was Sorloth, the flag raised on the far side. The Norwegian has been caught offsides quite a number of times this evening. And that was a very easy decision for the assistant referee. Give credit to Werder Bremen. They've been very disciplined, keeping that high line. Free kick for Bremen. And Pavlenka, the keeper, will take it. Just underway in the second half. Heavy challenge. No foul. And winning the throw-in for Leipzig is Sabitzer, the central midfielder. Angelino will leave it for Orban to take. Orban up the line. Leipzig will be in next season's UEFA Champions League. Only behind Bayern in the table. Foul called against Orban. It was for the follow-through. He got ball originally. The follow-through was a challenge worthy of a foul. Fireworks going off outside the stadium. No fans inside, but still an atmosphere. The fireworks going off into the dark skies of Germany. Currently 10:40 local time. Sorry, 9:40 local time. It was an 8:30 local start. And right off the free kick, an off the ball foul is called against Fulkrug, excuse me. Here is the substitute in Nkunku. Nice switch to Angelino, former Manchester City man. And Mbaum did well to not touch it. Throw in awarded to Werder Bremen. These games without fans in Germany are known as the ghost games, or Geisterspiel, as they say in Germany. Germany just have some of the most passionate fans in world football. And it's a shame that they have been banned from attending matches since 13 months ago when the pandemic began. This is back with Upamecano now. Over to Kampel. Now it's brought ahead by Nkunku. That pass couldn't be sliced through by Upamecano. However, possession stays with Leipzig. Here's Konate. Gets it back from Orban. It's a similar start to the second half as we saw throughout the first half, where Leipzig had a lot of the possession, but not really creating that many chances and testing Pavlenka. The header won on the far side by Augustinsson. It is out for a Leipzig throw. 5 minutes played in the second half. No score between Werder Bremen and RB Leipzig. Happy Friday to everyone tuning in. I know it's certainly been a long week for me, but I've enjoyed calling both Champions League, Europa League games, and now German Cup games. It's been a fun week. Here come Leipzig. Angelino into the box. Angelino's strike blocked as Selassie got in the way. Is a Leipzig throwing. It's thrown down the line by Sabitzer. Now Angelino with the cross. Headed into the air. And Nkunku looking to control. And it couldn't be taken down by Dani Olmo, the Spaniard. Werder Bremen cleared just across midfield where Gulashi meets the ball, I should say. Here's another switch. A lot of space on this left-hand side. With it is Orban. Now Konate. Here is Orban once more. Werder Bremen don't seem too aggravated to sit back and defend. They've done a good job so far. Here is Nkunku on the right wing. Edge of the box, it's Kampel. Oh, a nice ball ahead. The strike hits the post. What an effort. A far post struck by Mukiel. He appeared to be just slightly offsides anyways. And the flag did go up right after. But what a chance that was nonetheless from RB Leipzig. It was a good effort from Mukiel, but he was just a hair ahead of the last defender. Angelino wins the header. It's out for a Leipzig throw. Now it's Orban. Orban into the middle. Attacking the space is Upamecano. And Nkunku trying to send it through for Sabitzer. And now Bremen clear. Sargent peels off of the defender, helping out. Upamecano was Orban. It was a little bit of a poor first touch, but Orban able to recover. And Leipzig avoid a scare, as this is brought ahead by Konate. Here's Nkunku. Edge of the box, Sabitzer. It fell back to Nkunku. Now Angelino. Dangerous ball across. Headed away by Velkovic. Now it's back with Angelino. Outside of the left foot, ball in. Chested down to Sabitzer. Sabitzer to the back post. Now controlled by Mukiel. Mukiel's attempted cross is blocked. It will be a Leipzig throw-in. But Leipzig certainly turning it up a gear. Werder Bremen defending for their lives. It's still a 0-0 game. However, Leipzig are right on the verge of a first goal. At least that's how it feels at the moment. It will be a cross sent in by Nkunku. Outswinging delivery. Headed out of the box by Werder Bremen. Now controlled by Olmo. Angelino looking for Sabitzer, but it was a misplayed pass, and Sabitzer applauds the effort, but in the end, it's a goal kick for Bremen. 10 minutes played in the second half, all Leipzig so far. And they're finally starting to attack the goal and create some opportunities, which we didn't see much of in the first half from this Leipzig team, who are looking to make it back to the final of the German Cup after doing so last year. And they ultimately want to win that silverware. Of course, with Bayern Munich out of the competition after they were upset in the round of 16, it's really a wide open tournament there for the taking. Here's Angelino. Cross sent in, punched away by Pavlenka. Now it's controlled on the near side by Campbell. Tap back, edge of the box. Unable to get through as Nkunku. No foul called as Angelino with another gorgeous delivery and a bit of bravery from Pavlenka. He came out able to grasp the ball as he collided with Sorloth. Yeah, Pavlenka took a shot right to the ribcage in the end. Both he and Sorloth a bit shaken up after the fact. Yeah, Sorloth hasn't been a regular in this Leipzig starting lineup, but he gets the nod today. He was a very good player in the Turkish Super League. Reminder that MLS action continues this weekend. Nashville SC takes on Inter Miami Sunday afternoon at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. It's a rematch of the playoff matchup between those two teams last year, in which Nashville won 2-0. That was in the Eastern Conference play-in round between the two expansion sides. Curling ball into the back post. Off-balanced header by Sorloth is easily saved by Pavlenka. Appreciate all of you who have stopped by this afternoon. No goals yet, and since this is a one-off cup competition tie, if the game were to be deadlocked after 90 minutes. An additional 30 would be necessary to decide a winner. And of course, if it was still tied after extra time, penalty kicks would decide who goes through to the German Cup final. Look at this chance, still going. And eventually going down was Olmo. He was fouled just outside of the penalty area. Moisander whistled for the foul, and what a chance this is for Leipzig to finally take the lead. A great touch. And then the foul committed. Olmo with such quick feet. He has had a really impressive season with Leipzig. He was at, I believe, Salzburg for a little while. And due to his performances at Leipzig, he has been a regular in the lineup for Spain, at least in their World Cup qualifiers. He was. Actually scored a couple of key goals for them. Here's the free kick. Sabitzer goes over. Angelino over the wall, but just off the mark. Just went wide of the target. As we close in on the hour mark, about an hour played, 0-0 between Werder Bremen and RB Leipzig. It will be Pavlenka to take this goal kick. No goals yet from Bremen. It's a long goal kick. Ultimately out for a Bremen throw-in. Josh Sargent, the American, was in the area. He will leave the throw for Selassie. The hour mark is just about upon us. Half hour remains. Both teams in a 0-0 deadlock. It's a long throw from Selassie. Advantage played by the referee. It's won back by Bremen. And bomb out wide. Now here is Christian Gross. Gross had it taken away. Augustinson won it back, however. Referee bringing back the foul. As for the challenge from Gross, didn't seem like he made all that much contact. But because of the intent of what he was trying to do, that's where the foul came. On the last day of April in the spring, it's a bit of a chilly night in Germany, which is as to be expected. I don't know the exact weather, but overall the conditions not too cold on this Friday night. Here's Nkunku. Now Upamecano to Konate. Now it's sent out wide by Konate. That pass turned over. Can Werder Bremen spark an attack? On the turn, Sargent lays it ahead, but it's too far for the ensuing run of, I believe that was Augustinson. Angelino's pass doesn't make it through. Here's Josh Sargent. Foul called against Angelino, and it looks like a yellow card will also be shown. "63rd minute. And it looks like Werder Bremen are set to make their first change of the match. Werder Bremen defeated von Regensburg in the quarterfinals. And offsides called against Werder Bremen this time, as Füllkrug was just ahead of the last line of defense for Leipzig. Orban wide for Angelino. In swinging ball all the way through to the back post, controlled by Mukiel outside the box. Now Nkunku. Nkunku clips it forward. It ended up being a shot. I don't think that was his intention, but Pavlenka was called into action, did get a hand to it. Corner kick on the way. Oh yeah, the deflection is what made that attempted cross into a shot. And Pavlenka was quick to react. Here comes the set piece. The arm raised by Nkunku. Plays it short to Angelino. Now back to Nkunku. Curling delivery. The header off the bar. And it can't be cleaned up. As a corner kick is awarded after all of that drama inside the box. There were shouts for a high boot from Leipzig. And that's what Leipzig are trying to say. Let's look back at this chance. It was a gorgeous delivery from Mukiel. And then the header sent off the bar. And then on the rebound, Leipzig claiming there was a high boot towards the face area of Mukiel. Yeah, that boot certainly was way up there from Mbom. It was definitely a dangerous attempted clearance. Wow. What a wild sequence, to say the least. Of course, VAR could get involved if they feel like there was a clear and obvious error. 65 minutes played, and despite there being no goals, this has been quite the match as Werder Bremen gets set to make their first substitution of the night. Mukiele was trying to get his head to it and then took a high boot from Mbom. That was completely legal according to the referee. As Füllkrug will come off and Osako will enter the match. Osako, who does start rather often for Werder Bremen, but didn't get the start tonight. Can have a chance, does have the opportunity, I should say, to make an impact off the bench, though. Yeah, it was just a wild sequence on that chance for Leipzig. The header striking the bar. As Mukiela appears to be all right after receiving medical attention. Also down for Werder Bremen was Mbom after he made that clearance. And so after all of that, we play on. A goal kick taken by Gulacsi. Midway point of the second half. Still no goals, with a spot in the German Cup final up for grabs. Set to head by Upamecano. Leipzig win it back quickly. A little flick from Olmo. And now on Angelino with a cross to the back post. And it strikes the arm of Mukiele. And the referee in the end will just play advantage as it landed in the arms of Pavlenka. The long punt from Pavlenka. Josh Sargent couldn't quite control. Angelino sends it forward. Now back with Sargent. Sargent flicks it ahead. Nice controlled touch by Selke. And he does draw a foul. The confidence of Werder Bremen that we saw in the first half starting to return here in the second half. Because now they have a belief that they can win this semifinal, as they've managed to hold Leipzig to no goals through the opening 69 minutes. Here comes the free kick. Augustinsson will take it. Curling ball. Oh, wow. Osako, the substitute, got ahead to it. It just went wide of the target as he missed marginally. Facing away from goal. It's quite an effort from Osako. But they come up empty-handed with 20 minutes to play. Leipzig turn it over. Here are Bremen. Now Selke. Not enough weight on that pass. Kampel intervenes. Long ball forward from Angelino. Now here comes Sargent ahead for Osako. Osako's effort deflected. Werder Bremen do win a corner kick. 70 minutes into the match. 0-0 in Germany. Looking back at that replay, I'm not so sure if there was actually deflection. The referee thought so. A corner kick has been awarded. Augustinsson will deliver the left-footed out-swinging ball into the box. Here it comes. Headed away. Now it falls to Eggstein. Out wide, it's Augustinsson. That pass, though, ends up out of play. Quick throw-in by Leipzig. Neither team wants extra time. They want to finish the job at 90. You can tell just that by the way they're playing. Foul called against Bremen. Bremen last won the German Cup in 2009. Leipzig have not won it. Last time Bremen have made it to the final was 2010 when they lost to Bayern. So it's been a while. And now Werder Bremen set to make their second change of the evening. The best opportunity of this game by far. That chance from the corner kick where Leipzig hit the crossbar. And there will be controversy in the German news, as there could have been a high boot from Mbaum. Speaking of Mbaum, he will come out. Bittencourt enters the match. And right away, Bittencourt with his first attempt that is sent over. Leipzig are also ready to make a change. Looks like Yusuf Poulsen will come on. Poulsen used to be a regular starter for Leipzig. Nagelsmann has gone back and forth with him this season for the most part. And now that change will be made. We'll see who comes off. And the answer to that is Marcel Sabitzer. So Sabitzer will transfer the captain's armband to Yusuf Poulsen. Poulsen's certainly a player who can make a huge impact off the bench for RB Leipzig. The Dane is into the game. 74 minutes in. Here's Upamecano. Now all the way back to Gulashi. Knocked off balance. Was Sorloth. Free kick given. Kompel takes. What's going on, Team A? Thanks for tuning into the broadcast. Much appreciated, man. Hope you're doing well. And I am doing well. Thanks for asking. I appreciate that. I know a limited amount of Spanish, not a whole lot, but I know a little bit. I know "Que tal" means "how are you?" So I'm doing very well. You're from Alaman? Okay. Very good, very good. So, are you a fan of any Bundesliga team? Because I know Alaman is Germany, right? I assume. Well, Alaman is German, I think. But yeah, it's been a tightly contested German Cup semifinal. No score yet after 75 minutes of play. See what the final 15 have in store. Here's Angelino. The cross cut out. That's sent away. And now it's picked up in the midfield by Orban. Orban sends it wide. Now it's Nkunku. Nice 1-2. And back to Nkunku. That ball lands into the feet of Angelino. Battle along the sideline. Now it comes to Dani Olmo. Into the box. Sorloth holds, lays it back, and Nkunku's effort blocked. Popped in the air. And now taken down by Orban, who took a heavy challenge to the face. Got right back up. Here come Werder Bremen. Here's Velkovic. Now Kompel. That pass just out of the reach of Yusuf Poulsen. A reminder that the other German Cup semifinal will be tomorrow at 2:30 Eastern Time when Dortmund take on second division side Holstein Kiel. Could Holstein Kiel pull off the upset and somehow make it to the German Cup final, or will Dortmund take care of business, set up a date against either Werder Bremen or Leipzig? What a chance! And it's off the post. Leipzig have hit every piece of woodwork you can imagine. Here's Angelino to the end line. Clips it in. Poulsen towering up. Another header. And Sorloth couldn't make clean contact. And it'll be a free kick going out. Yeah, it was actually slightly deflected on the effort from Moisander. Wow, what a chance that truly was. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in. Can I explain the indefinito? You need that for school. Yeah, I could try to explain it in a moment. I don't know any German. I don't know any German. I know a little bit of Spanish because I take Spanish in school. But I don't know any German. As Werder Bremen are now on the attack. This falls nicely, but the strike goes well over from Bittencourt, the substitute. Yeah, so basically, I think what you're asking about when it comes to the indefinite article, you basically have to match up what what the noun is. Like, for example, you would say a university, but you would say an hour. So it's kind of difficult to explain. English is a hard language to learn. My dad's from Portugal, so when he moved to the U.S., he spent 3 years learning the language, and he said it was very difficult to learn. But yeah, basically, like you'd say a book, a car, a dog, a frog, but then I'm trying to think of examples where you'd say an. You would say an apple. You wouldn't say a apple. You'd say an apple, an egg, an insect, stuff like that. I think that's what you were referring to. Yeah, it's sort of hard to explain when you're learning the language. I'm sure it's when you're learning English. I'm sure it's hard to understand when to use which one. Um, you just kind of have to use it based on what makes sense and what doesn't. Like you wouldn't say an university, you'd say a university, uh, and you wouldn't say you know you wouldn't say an book, you'd say a book. But then again, you wouldn't say a insect, you'd say an insect. So yeah, I think that's basically the gist of the indefinite in English, at least to my knowledge. That That's what it is. 81st minute. Still no goals. Could extra time be on the way? Or will a winner be decided within the 90 minutes? Looks like a handball was called against Stanhelino. Free kick going out. Thanks everyone for tuning into the broadcast. Now it's Nkunku. Is there a late goal? Is there a late game winner in this one? Here's Angelino. The cross is blocked, and it will go out for a corner as Selassie got a touch to it. 8 minutes away from second half stoppage time now. It's a short corner taken. It's played to Angelino. Now the cross to the back post. Off the head of Sorloth, and it will be a goal kick. Tell you what, Leipzig have had some real good services into the box. They just have not managed to capitalize. Hitting the woodwork twice. Going back to that Nkunku chance, what an opportunity was. It did take a slight deflection, but still off the post. And perhaps if it hadn't taken a deflection, it would have gone in. Who knows? Poulsen with a poor pass, but it is now with Angelino. Sorloth to Poulsen. The pass out wide is just ahead of Angelino. And he certainly tried to get on the end of it. Lunging out. Might have. I don't think he pulled anything, but certainly winced afterwards. Free kick given to Bremen, right at about midfield. It's taken by the right back, Velkovic. Headed by Poulsen. Oh, what a touch. Into space by Danny Olmo. Space opening up here. Ahead to Nkunku. Nkunku on the right wing. Now finds Campo at the edge of the box. His first touch just got ahead of him. And now here come Werder Bremen. Leipzig a bit out of position. The chip here won't be successful. Ulaci, in the end, had no trouble handling that effort. Now here come Leipzig ahead towards Poulsen. Nice header one, though, by Selassie, and it's claimed out of the air by Pavlenka. 5 minutes away from stoppage time here in the second half, and still no score. Here's Osako. It's played out of bounds by Upamecano. Spot in the German Cup final on the line tonight. Yeah, Osako's introduction to the match has certainly given Werder Bremen some spark. Out wide, it's Angelino. Angelino goes down. No foul called. Selassie with nice defensive work, and it was off of Angelino last. Werder Bremen goal kick awarded. Looks like another Leipzig change will be on the way. They've made 2 substitutions thus far. 86th minute now. That's out for a Leipzig throw. You can tell they're playing with a lot of urgency at this point. Will extra time be on the way, or will Leipzig or Bremen manage a late winner to see themselves through to the final? Well, that won't help Leipzig's causes. Foul called against RB Leipzig. You can see Nagelsmann's frustration. It's been that type of night. Leipzig probably deserved to be in the lead, in all honesty, but the scoreboard does not reflect that. Here now is Augustinsson. Nice combination play. Kampel gets to the ball for Leipzig. The foul goes against Osako as he took out Mukiela. It'll be interesting to see how much stoppage time there is in the second half. Free kick sent to midfield. Headed the other way by Bremen. It's controlled by Selke. He goes down. There will be a foul called. It goes against Orban. And is this Bremen's chance to win the game? '88th minute. And an opportunity for the hosts to possibly win the game. Gulacsi provides instructions. Here comes the Bremen free kick. Sent in by Augustinsson. Looked like Poulsen got ahead to it. It will be a corner for Bremen on the far side. Heading over to take it is Bittencourt, the substitute. It's a great service. We've seen great service from both teams all night long, really. Here's the corner from Bittencourt. Sent to the near post. Oh, across the face of goal. The opportunity was there for Gebre Selassie. Was just slightly off balanced. Couldn't redirect it on frame. We're now less than a minute away from second half stoppage time. And now here comes that Leipzig change I alluded to. It's Sorloth who will come off. Hwang enters, the South Korean, into the match. First season with Leipzig. He scored 11 goals last season with RB Salzburg in Austria, still searching for his first Leipzig goal. And so here we go. Stoppage time is here. 4 minutes added on, just like we saw in the first half. Still time for a late winner. Augustinsson again with the delivery. And Angelino pops it up. Now it's controlled in the box. A poor back heel flick by Selke. Goal. Although it did take a deflection. It did, yeah. So a corner kick has been given. I thought that went directly out of play, but it did not. Although I don't think it did, looking back at the replay. The referee thought so. Here's Bittencourt's corner kick. Outswinger. Headed away at the near post. Coming back in, though, is Bittencourt. Now it's Augustinsson. Curling ball in. Gulacsi with the punch away. And now it's Nkunku for Leipzig. Leipzig with numbers going forward. And that will be a foul against Werder Bremen, as Upamecano was taken down. Free kick here. Yep, no doubt. Studs right on the ankle from Moisander. Just over 2 minutes remain. Here's Nkunku's delivery. He goes short to Angelino. Angelino to the back post. Headed across the face of goal, and Poulsen sends it just wide. How many chances will Leipzig get before putting one away? Poulsen disappointed. He thought he should have done better. Orban sent it across, and then Poulsen was just put it marginally wide with 90 seconds now remaining. This goes all the way through. Sargent could be in. Gulacsi had to come out of his box to clear it out of play. It will be a Werder Bremen throw-in. This game's not done yet. Well, the 90 minutes aren't done yet, is what I should say. There's still time left. Although it did go off of Sargent, so a Leipzig throw-in is actually awarded. A minute to play. This is all the way back with the Bremen keeper, Pavlenka. Pavlenka slips on the clearance. The Leipzig throw-in here. Full time quickly approaching. Is there time for one more chance? Here's Konate. Floats one across for Angelino. Angelino with the service. Poulsen denied. The follow-up goes over. Wow, unbelievable. It fell to Danny Olmo, but how about the original chance? Angelino with another great service. And Poulsen from point-blank range, denied by Pavlenka. And that will probably be the last opportunity of regulation. And it will be. There goes the whistle. 90 minutes are not enough. We're heading to extra time between Werder Bremen and RB Leipzig. What a match it has truly been. And over 90 minutes, no goals scored between the two sides. What a game it's been. And we will head to extra time. What will happen in the extra 30 minutes? We will find out soon. Don't go anywhere. I'm back for bonus soccer after the break in this German Cup semifinal. Welcome back, everybody. We go to the extra period of play as another 30 minutes will be needed to decide who goes through to the German Cup final. Will it be Werder Bremen? Will it be RB Leipzig? We shall see. 0-0 after 90. And so how about an extra 30? Does not first goal wins. They will play the full 30 minutes of extra time, and then if it's still tied after that, we will head to penalty kicks. So that's the how extra time will proceed. Some bonus action. And what a game this has been. No goals, and I don't know how because there have been so many chances, particularly for Leipzig. And in this first half of extra time, it will be Werder Bremen going from left to right. It'll be Leipzig going from, Werder Bremen right to left, Leipzig from left to right. And off we go in extra time. Werder Bremen will kick things off in the first extra time period. And off we go. An extra 30 on the way. This is controlled by Poulsen. Poulsen gives it away to Eggstein. Now here comes Selassie. Sargent back to Selassie. Nice cut to the penalty spot. Falling over was Selke. And now it will be a Werder Bremen corner. Well, the hosts starting off extra time in the right fashion. Here comes the corner kick for the hosts. We're just underway in the first half of extra time. Set piece from the far side. Augustinson has had great deliveries all night long. Delivers another good ball. Poulsen with a head to it. Now Kampel takes it down, and it's cleared away by Leipzig. Back in by Moisander. And the flag is raised offsides. Called against RB Leipzig. Called against Werder Bremen, excuse me. Leipzig with the high line that pays off. It's 2 15-minute halves of extra time. Here is Nkunku. Tracking back is Osako for Werder Bremen. Now Upamecano. Well, neither team wanted to head to extra time, but after neither was able to score through 90, that's where we are. Oh, this ball falls nicely. Here's a chance. Left-footed strike put away. And the first goal in Leipzig for Leipzig has come. It's Hwang, the substitute, the South Korean, who scores his very first goal with RB Leipzig. And what a goal it is. 3 minutes not even into extra time. And RB Leipzig have taken the lead 1-0 over Werder Bremen. Well, how about that? Leipzig only wish now that they had gotten that crucial goal within the 90, but this will do. Now they'll just have to hold on. Going back to the goal, though, was Poulsen perhaps coming from an offside position because he's the one who played in Hwang. A nice composed finish with the left foot into the bottom corner. However, could have Poulsen been in an offside position? That's the question. But it's a really nice finish from the South Korean Hwang. He just does so well to cut it back. Then slip it into the bottom right corner. 1-0 Leipzig lead. The goal stands. And now Werder Bremen will have to play from behind. Well, how about that for the start of extra time? Angelino got taken out. Advantage given, and here come Leipzig. They want to really put this game to bed. This is Nkunku. Now back to Angelino, who appears to be all right after that heavy challenge. Now Upamecano ahead to Poulsen. Huang, the super sub for Leipzig. He came in for Sorloth, and boy, has he delivered. Now it's Kampel. Man down for Werder Bremen. Kampel will send it out of play as it's Selke who's injured. 95th minute. Early stages of extra time. And by the expression of Selke, I'm not so sure if he'll be able to continue. Going back to that Leipzig goal, it was substitute to substitute. Poulsen finding Huang, and just a brilliant finish, really, from the former Salzburg striker. And that was the goal that Leipzig have been looking for all night long, and it's finally come. A smile on the face of the South Korean. Nagelsmann pleased. Selke limps off to the sideline as a substitute may be necessary to replace Selke. Or will he be able to continue? We'll see. And yep, there will be a change. Selke unable to continue for Bremen. Bremen now fighting from behind. Can they pull level in extra time? Coming on for Selke was Movald. So Movald is in. That was the third change for Bremen. '97th minute. And Mukiela is offsides. The flag raised. Free kick for Bremen. Pavlenka will head all the way up to take this. That's out for a Leipzig throw. Leipzig just trying to see out the rest of this match. We're about midway through this first extra time period. Nkunku into Olmo. Olmo sends it wide. Now it's Angelino. Attempted through ball. Couldn't get to Huang. Late challenge, and Kampel will be shown yellow. It's just the second booking of the match. Overall, it's been a pretty clean game. '99th minute now. Kampel a yellow card. This is picked up by Gross. Oh, good ball to the back post by Osako. Sliding in was Bittencourt. Couldn't get there. It was well defended in the end. I think a foul was called actually against the attacker Bittencourt as he followed through on Upamecano. Sorry about that. And now Angelino will stretch out. Looks like he's just cramping up a bit. A change from each side will now be made as we enter the 100th minute in this German Cup semifinal. About 5 minutes away from the end of the first extra time period. Well, they'll hold on those two changes, but they're coming shortly. As Gulacsi takes the free kick. And before he does so, he's shown yellow. Bit of clock management from Gulacsi, but he was just waiting a bit too long. So a yellow card shown to the Leipzig keeper. And now Angelino will come out. He was cramping up a bit moments ago, and that will be it for him. And in comes Henriks. Here's Augustinsson. Space opening up in the middle for Eckstein. Through ball, couldn't get all the way to his teammate. And that will be a challenge penalized. Free kick to Leipzig. As Olmo was taken out. Foul against Gross. 102nd minute. It's sent out wide by Kampel. Tight space to work in for Mukiele. Bremen win it back. They're looking for an equalizer. Bittencourt to the middle. That's stolen by Leipzig. Here now is Augustinsson. Time winding down in this first period of extra time. Now it's back to Pavlenka. Sargent flicks it on to Osako. Osako holding on, but eventually drawing the foul. Free kick to Werder Bremen. Leipzig seemed outraged by the decision. As I will be right back in a moment, folks. All right, sorry about that, folks. Just had to handle one thing. 104th minute now. Leipzig leading by a goal. With a spot in the German Cup final up for grabs. Here's Gulacsi, now out wide. In stepped Velkovic. He'll send it to Pavlenka. It's out of play from Pavlenka. Throw into Leipzig. Osako sends it ahead. That pass cut off by Upamecano. That header won by Selassie. Foul against Bremen. Movald, the substitute, the guilty one, as he took down Henriks. We've reached the 105th minute, and there will be 1 minute tacked on to the end of this first extra time period. Sorry, three. I completely guessed. 3 minutes added on. There we go. Oh, wow, look at this turnover. Gulacsi comes out. It's dribbled around the keeper and put away from a tight angle. Werder Bremen have tied it up. Would you believe it? It's Leonardo Bittencourt, the substitute. It's 1-1 in extra time. A brilliant finish from the substitute. He got around Gulacsi and from the tightest of angles was able to slip it in. We're all level, and this game just gets better and better. A ball just played over the top. It was miscalculated by Upamecano, and Bittencourt was there to pounce. Gulacsi could not come out in time, and Werder Bremen make Leipzig pay. The mistake could prove costly for the visitors. It's a really nice finish by Bittencourt. Left-footed finish, curling it inside the near post. Beautifully done. 1-1 the score. Both teams have now scored in the first half of extra time. And once again, it's game on in the semifinal of the German Cup. Stoppage time of extra time. The first half of extra time, that is. Bremen have just kept on fighting, and that's certainly paid off. Up the line, it's played to Osako, excuse me. And it will be a Leipzig throw in about a minute to play in the first extra time period. This is flicked on. Foul called against Leipzig. That probably will do it for the first half of extra time. This game has been quite something, hasn't it? Direct ball from the goal scorer, Bittencourt. And that will be it for the first half of extra time. 1-1 between Werder Bremen and Leipzig. Still 15 more minutes to go to decide a winner. And if a winner can't be decided within the next 15-minute period, we will head to penalty kicks, if necessary, to decide who goes to the German Cup final. Wow. After no goals through 90 minutes, both teams score in the span of 15 minutes. Bittencourt with a brilliant goal. Time and time again, in similar situations, you see a player put it wide or over. But Bittencourt made no mistake And at the end of the first extra time period, it's 1-1, level again between Werder Bremen and RB Leipzig. A mistake at the back for Upamecano, and that might cost Leipzig a spot in the German Cup final. About a 2-minute break between the two halves of extra time. Both teams getting hydrated once more. Instructions given from both managers respectively. Should be an enthralling final 15 minutes of extra time. And will penalty kicks have to decide the winner tonight? We shall see. All questions that will be answered over the course of the next quarter hour or so. And once again, as I said at the end of regulation, despite there being no goals in the first 90 minutes of play, it was still an exciting match, and it's only gotten better as the goals have come here in extra time. Players for both teams back on the pitch. We're ready to go for the final 15 minutes of extra time. Leipzig will now kick it off. They're going from right to left. Werder Bremen now going from left to right. Leipzig in the red. Werder Bremen in their traditional green. And there we go. Underway in stoppage time, in extra time, the second half of it. 105 minutes played, 15 to go. We'll play to 120. And then if it's still tied after that, we will have penalty kicks. Here come Leipzig, an immediate opportunity. Henrichs cuts it to his left. He's still going. Here's the strike. It's into the side netting. A burst of speed from the substitute Henrichs and a near goal for Leipzig. It was a great cut to his left foot. He was going all the way. In the end, though, put his shot into the side netting. It did take a slight deflection, though. A corner kick awarded to RB Leipzig. Let's look back at this shot. Oh, yeah, it did take a minor touch off of Moisander. The arm was slightly extended, but not enough for a PK. Here comes the Leipzig corner kick. In swinger, the header just over. It was Orban who got up to it. Couldn't keep it low enough, though. Goal kick to Bremen. You get the sense that Bremen would be pretty content with, taking their chances in a penalty kick shootout. Leipzig, on the other hand, not so much. They will not want this game to come down to penalty kicks. It will be a Bremen throw. Selassie to take it. He goes up the line for Osako. Sent out a play by Orban. And here come Leipzig. Cutting to the middle is Olmo. Tackle from behind. All ball, says the referee. Here now is Osako. Great through ball. Bittencourt was nearly in, but it's Konate to the rescue for RB Leipzig. Now a free kick will be awarded to Leipzig. Perhaps that was controlled by the arm of Osako in the build-up to that Werder Bremen chance. Here's Orban. Orban goes wide. Here's Henrichs. Nice 1-2. It's back to Henrichs. Henrichs delivers to the back post. It's controlled. The shot headed over. My goodness. The shot fell right to Poulsen inside the 6, and somehow he has not scored. Oh, wow. I mean, this is an unbelievable chance. And Poulsen just can't keep it low enough. Golden opportunity that for Leipzig to take the lead. Retake the lead, that is. 109th minute. Header by Sargent. Now it's Nkunku. Leipzig on the attack. Was that a foul? No. Leipzig win it back, though. Here's Henrichs. He taps it forward for Danny Olmo. Olmo dancing on the ball. Floats one to the back post. Controlled, but unable to get a shot away. Was Mukiele. He was offsides anyways, with about 10 minutes to play in extra time. .110 played, 10 to go. Driving forward here is Olmo. Now Henrichs the cross. The cutback looked promising, but it's sent away by Werder Bremen. Now back into the box is Olmo. Olmo. His cross to the near post is handled comfortably by Pavlenka. Pavlenka in no hurry to punt this one away. It's a driven punt right through the middle. Now sent back that way by Upamecano. Here's Hwang, the goal scorer. He will win his side a corner kick off of Moisander. A corner to Werder Bremen. Sorry, to Leipzig. Werder Bremen will have to defend this set piece. Something they've done all night long. Headed only to the edge of the box. Henrichs tees it up. The curling shot is headed away by Selassie. Now edge of the box, and Nkunku with the service. Sargent's back to head it away twice. As that goes out to midfield. Sorry, Osako was the one. And now he's down in agony. Play will be halted. Yeah, he took it square to the forehead. Osako doing his defensive duties. Appears to be just fine. 8 minutes remaining. Looks like Bagfrede is set to come on. Drop ball. We continue where play left off. Leipzig in possession. Henrichs gives it away. Foul goes against Leipzig. What a game this has really been. Here's the free kick from Velkovic. That's taken away from Poulsen. Long ball sent forward. Oh, what a chance! Sent across the face of goal by Bittencourt. And that will go out for a Leipzig goal kick ultimately. 114th minute now. Leipzig will make a change. And it's actually Nkunku who will come off. He was a sub himself, which is interesting to note. Forsberg will replace him. You have to think Nkunku picked up a bit of a knock. We'll see what Forsberg can do off the bench. The German Cup final in 13 days' time. That's the game that both of these teams would like to be in, but only one will. 5 minutes left in extra time. Will penalty kicks have to decide the winner? A little bit of pushing and shoving going on. It will be a Leipzig free kick. Here is Orban. Now Upamecano, who made that costly mistake that led to the Werder Bremen equalizer. Long ball forward. The header by Selassie. Into the boxes, Kempel. Almost past, just too far ahead of Forsberg. Final product not there from Leipzig in the penalty area. And Werder Bremen will take all the time in the world on this goal kick. That's last touched by the head of Hendricks. There still could be a late winner. It's now the 117th minute. It was 0-0 after 90 minutes. Both teams scoring a goal here in extra time. Selassie takes the throw. Nice chest pass by Osako. Blasted forward. It went off the chest of Konate at the edge of the box. Now cleared as far as midfield, where Selassie sends it forward. Now it's Hendricks in possession for Leipzig. No foul called, as there was a tussle taking place. The referee says play on. A foul, but advantage played. Forsberg to Poulsen. Poulsen goes down, and no penalty called. The referee says no penalty. Poulsen cannot believe it. Let's look back. There certainly is a claim to be made, but nothing called. We play on. VAR does not step in. Play continued pretty quickly. Maybe there wasn't enough time for VAR to check. Fully, anyways. 2 minutes to go. We'll see how much stoppage time there is in the second half of extra time. Going back to that incident, You know, that could have been called a penalty. It really could have. And now here comes that Bremen substitution, probably the final one tonight, as Gross will come off, replaced by Bargfrede. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Little did I know that this would be the fantastic match that it's been. This is played into Osako. A nice lead pass. Down the right wing, it's Bittencourt. Bittencourt ahead. Too far for Osako. Goal kick to Leipzig with 1 minute until we reach the 120-minute mark. There will be some stoppage time here in the second half of extra time. Well, it's all the way back to Gulacsi. Is there one last chance for either side? Here is Olmo. Olmo taking it forward. Now it's Henriks. Henriks curling it to the back post. Headed out of danger by Werder Bremen. Upamecano now back to Gulacsi. And there's the board. 2 minutes will be added on to the end of extra time. Will a penalty shootout decide the winner? Now it's Campbell. Campbell, beautiful ball, sent across and put away. Forsberg has surely grabbed the winner for Leipzig in the 121st minute. It's 2-1 Leipzig. It's heartbreak for Bremen. It's pure delight for Leipzig. And they have probably just booked their spot into the German Cup final. Bremen were on the verge of forcing this game to penalty kicks, but Leipzig had other ideas. 2-1. The substitute Forsberg has grabbed the late winner. Wow, absolutely big time. Forsberg with the acrobatic finish at the back post, as it was headed across by Huang, who's made a real impact off the bench. A goal and an assist for the substitute. And Leipzig had to earn it, but they will be moving on to the final unless there's more late drama in the final seconds. But what an ending. As that's played out of bounds by Bargfrede. Seconds to play. Leipzig on the verge of victory. Well, the substitutes have certainly delivered. Both goals coming from substitutes. And Leipzig took full advantage of that one final chance that they got. Bremen now with everyone forward. The final whistle coming any moment now. Here's Poulsen for Leipzig. He can't save it. Throw into Bremen. We're into the 123rd minute now. This is played ahead by Gulacsi. By Pavlenka, excuse me. Leipzig win a throw. The final whistle coming any moment now. Leipzig are anxious at this point. When is that final whistle coming? What a crazy ending after no goals in the first 90 minutes, 3 combined in the final 30 in extra time. And it looks like Leipzig are going to pull it off. This is headed back out of play. The referee still allowing the action to continue. We've now played 3.5 minutes of stoppage time, entering the 124th minute. And that is it. You can tell how much it means for RB Leipzig. They've won it 2-1 after extra time. A drama-filled game and 121st minute winner from Emil Forsberg. And RB Leipzig are moving on to the German Cup final for the second consecutive year. And they'll face either Dortmund or Holstein Kiel in the final. Well, credit has to be granted to Werder Bremen. They created chances, pushed Leipzig to the very end, but ultimately the favorites pull through and get the job done. 2-1 is the final score. Nagelsmann and his players can finally celebrate a grueling fixture on this Friday night. But Leipzig do it in the German Cup semis. Nice moment between Tyler Adams and Josh Sargent after the match. The two Americans conversing. What a game. Just great chances at both ends. One team had to go through, and that team is Leipzig. Werder Bremen left it all on the line, only to come up just short. Well, I definitely appreciate you guys tuning in for this one. It was an absolute blast. RB Leipzig take down Werder Bremen. 2-1 the final. All 3 goals coming in extra time. 120 minutes needed, but Leipzig get the job done. They're on to the German Cup final to face either Dortmund or Holstein Kiel in just under 2 weeks' time. My name is Samuel Reese saying so long. I'll see you guys next time. What a German Cup semifinal it was between Leipzig and Werder Bremen. Leipzig are through to the final, and I'll be back. I don't know when my next broadcast will be. We'll see. But thanks for tuning in nonetheless, and so